Well, welcome to the channel and take 2 of my Iberian adventure. I say take 2 because take 1 was 2 weeks ago on a different bike, a much newer bike than this. Unfortunately 24 miles from home I got knocked off it at a roundabout by an 83-year-old elderly driver. Yeah, trying to turn right from a left-hand lane, so not to worry. I'm on the trusty 45-year-old 1980 Goldwing GL1100, and I haven't filmed anything up until now because it's just been too much aggravation really. The journey from Brighton to Portsmouth to get the ferry, the Portsmouth to Santander ferry, wasn't particularly exciting, and the ferry crossing itself, again, not particularly exciting. So got into Santander an hour or so ago, and it was raining, so I didn't want to set my camera equipment up in the rain, and I've got a problem with the starter motor on the GL1100. Well, actually I don't think it is a starter motor, actually I think it's a battery. I think I've got a Duff battery on her. It's a couple of years old. I did charge it all up before I left. Doesn't really seem to be holding a charge, so when I tried to start the bike this morning to get off the ferry, I did manage to start it, but it was very, very slow turning over. Only just about took and got me started, and I let it run for a bit, turned it off, and then when I went to try and start her up again, nothing. Click, click, click. So a lovely couple from Staffordshire, Mark and Chris, they pushed me and I got her started and I'm on the road. But I've just stopped in a petrol station. I was looking for somewhere that had a little bit of a downward slope where I could stop, turn her off and see if after half an hour, 40 minutes riding, whether or not she would start off the starter motor. And no, again, same thing, had a little bit of charge and then nothing. So I suspect that the battery is knackered. I'm not entirely sure how old it is. It's a fairly modern battery, but you know, like all batteries, they eventually go. So on here it's tells me what my voltage is, and that's coming out at 14 point something, so I know the alternator is delivering enough power. Obviously when I'm riding, she's absolutely fine, but it doesn't seem that any of the power that's going into that battery is being retained. So I'm going to have to try and find a new battery. I think that's the first thing I'm going to try anyway. Morning, old Bill. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to try. But today's Sunday, so it's not going to be today. So tomorrow I'm going to have to try and find a battery. Today I haven't got that far to go. I'm heading for a campsite somewhere down in the Picos de Europa, and yeah, I've just got to hope that when I get there's going to be somewhere suitable for me to pitch up, where I'm going to be able to get the bike going in the morning. Not to worry, I'll figure something out. Maybe somebody's got I don't know, a jump pack or something I can rig up just to get her going, or I just need a bit of a slope really. Second gear, down a slope, choke out, a little bit of throttle, and she bump starts quite easily. It's either that or I'm camping on a bloody hill. Of course, if it isn't a battery, I've got to consider that maybe the starter motor is a bit duff. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say it isn't, because I had to start her off not an awful long time ago, and I cleaned it all out, the commutator and the contacts, and put new brushes in, and it was fine. There was a tiny bit of damage on the commutator where it got a bit too much current and there was a raised area, but I filed that down, tested it out, and it was working fine. So yeah, if I had to guess, I'd say it isn't the starter motor. I'm hoping it's just the battery, and I can find somewhere local and yeah, just swap it out, and then that would be that. Look, other than that, she's running absolutely beautifully when I can get her going. Like I say, it's a 1980 bike. I got it in 2018, and she hadn't been on the road for 17 years, but didn't need an awful lot doing to get back on the road and get roadworthy. And I've been riding her ever since. What's it got now? 60,015 miles. I think I got the bike when it had about 51,000. So I've done 8,000 or 9,000 miles over 7 years, which isn't a lot really. It's well below average, but I took the bike to Ireland in 2023, did a 2,000 mile round trip, and was absolutely fine. I've just got to keep my eyes open here because that's where I'm headed, Picos to Europa. Well, I hope that's where I'm headed. But yeah, back to the bike. So she's a 1980 model GL1100. And I've just kept her pretty well maintained, apart from the battery obviously. Okay, so my exit's coming up soon. Yeah, schoolboy error really. I had it on an Optimate charger and it seemed to be okay, but I wasn't really keeping an eye on it, and I should have noticed what the lights on the Optimate charger were doing to indicate the state of the battery, and I didn't. I just bunged it back on and it seemed to work okay. Not to worry. It's an early minor hiccup. Essentially the bike is pretty solid and the engine's good, temperature's good, smooth, enough power for what I'm doing here over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Right, I'll be back shortly because I've got to take this exit. Well, clearly I'm not camping tonight. I'm at a hotel instead because of the dodgy battery. I'm in the Hotel Infantado, just outside of Potes. As you can see, it's a pretty nice location. So the plan was to camp, but yeah, that's kind of been scuppered by the fact that the battery is I'm pretty sure it's knackered. So yeah, there's a garage just over the road where that sort of peachy orange building is. Just down there is a garage. So I chose this hotel deliberately. I think it's quite a popular bikers hotel anyway, and yeah, I'll go in there tomorrow. Hopefully they can swap the battery out and I can get back on track with the trip. But yeah, it's a nice hotel. I'm pretty sure it's the one that Richie Vida stays at a lot, the other YouTuber. I'm pretty sure I've seen him and his gang pull up here, park up, and on the terrace there drinking beers. There's a couple of other bikers here. Just been speaking to these two chaps here. The guy on a Super 10 there was just telling me about his ferry trip down from Rosslare. Apparently they got a jump pack, so if I do need to get going tomorrow, they can help me out. So yeah, it's always nice, isn't it, when other bikers help you out. So I'm going to go for a walk and a little wander, and I'll be back with you shortly. So this is a place I'm going to come to tomorrow. I've heard good reports about it. A few people have spoken about it, so I'm pretty confident that I should be able to get a new battery.